My name is Rick Hayes, and I'm a member of Morrisville Fire Department. I've been in the fire service for the past 38 years. I've gone to the University of Houston and Texas A&M to learn extrication. Every accident is different. Okay, every crash that we go to is not the same. When we get to a scene, the patients are screaming, parents come up, they're having a fit, they want to get to the scene. Everything out there does happen to us. And I've had 2 cases in my life, and one of them I live day to day, and it affects me day to day. I went to a small school in Plattsburgh called Mount Assumption Institute. It was a boys' Catholic private school, so we were very regimented as far as control. Like with you here, you're here, you go home at night, you have some sort of guidelines and rules that your parents set for you. Once you leave here and you go to college, everything changes. All right, you don't have mom and dad getting you up in the morning, so if you don't go to class, you flunk. All right, when I went from a very strict group to a college, and the first thing I did when I got there, met my roommate, met a couple other people. What did we do the first weekend? We went and got a 6-pack of beer in Saranac Lake. We were away from our parents. We did whatever we wanted to do. My buddy and I and all the other fraternity members went to a bar. We drank from 9 o'clock at night till midnight. Doesn't sound like much, but for 18-year-old guys, 19-year-old guys, it was a lot of drinking. We piled into my buddy's, my best friend, my roommate, his little Chevy Vega, which is a little 2-door hatchback. He's driving, I'm in the passenger seat, 2 in the back. And can you picture this? 4 more people in a hatchback, 4 young pledges in the hatchback. He lost control of the car. It flipped 7 times. We ended up in the potato field upside down in the car. The 4 pledges were ejected through the hatchback. Broken arms, nothing serious except for my best friend. He was paralyzed from the waist down. Now picture, we are foresters. We went to college to become forest rangers. I got a call Labor Day weekend, that Sunday. We were supposed to pick him up Monday morning, and his mother called me and said, "Ricky, are you coming over to get Joe tomorrow?" And I could tell something was wrong with her voice, and I said, "Yeah, we are. We've got the car all set. We've got another station wagon. We're going to get the wheelchair. We're going to get him, and we're going to finish, and you're going to see what we're going to do." She started to cry, and I couldn't understand why. My buddy had given her a list of stuff and her husband to go into town to get that he needed for school. While they were gone to town up there, he proceeded to go out in the garage and commit suicide. You know how they say lightning doesn't strike in 2 places the same time or ever strikes the same place again? Well, guess what?
She loved her bicycle. She said she didn't want to learn to drive because there were too many crazies on the road. There was this one guy, he thought he'd go out and have a good time. The way he had a good time was to get loaded out of his mind. So out he went, and he drank all afternoon. So bad, he couldn't get in his van. A bartender came out and tried to get his keys, and he wouldn't give them to her. He got in the van and he drove away. Meanwhile, Karen, on her bike, had headed out for a little jaunt toward the city beach. He's out there boozing it up. Came across her, hit her, kept right on going. Can you picture this? She's laying beside the road, seriously injured. Cars were stopping all over the place. This family, who's all healthy, having a good time together, and all of a sudden something like this happens. Someone knocked on the front door and said to Jim, "Can we come in?" It was the state police. He had been on the police force for 22 years, so he knew many of them. They came in and he said, I could tell the minute they walked in the door, this was not a social call. Your daughter, Karen, was killed tonight by a drunk driver. When I arrived home and he told me, I'm standing in the driveway and I'm screaming my head off. I'm saying, no, why did this happen? How can this happen? Here you are in complete control of your life, and all of a sudden, the bomb drops. This is Karen. As she was as a baby, in growing up, in going into school. She was a good student. She graduated from high school. She's forever gone. We won't see her anymore. And you think of the many things that you wanted to say to her